Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, but that is not Connor. Connor, who's always here, is actually away for the weekend. He's away to Star Wars celebration, so in his absence, I have enlisted the help of one Tim Vargulish.
Hello.
We're
I was
gonna.
I was gonna
Oh,
do like a I was gonna do like a fake hiccup, but then I was like, I don't even like how I don't even know if I can do a hiccup sound. So
I was gonna try, but no, it's.
it's
I don't think I can.
yeah,
It comes. It comes from a place so deep that it's not voluntary. You know.
yeah, it's which actually is it's pretty impressive then on Connor's part that
Uh,
that he fakes it so often.
We're going to talk about Stranger Things season 1 episode 1. This just debuted on Netflix yesterday. Me and Connor should have a full season 1 discussion before the end of next week, probably in the Friday Saturday range, but Tim was around and I just watched the first episode and Tim watched the first episode, so we thought we'd do an episode 1 discussion. So we'll keep this mostly spoiler free. We'll probably do a little bit of spoilers towards the end and maybe theorise a little bit. But I feel like with a Netflix show, because most people are going to binge it, it's not as much of a like let's theorise where things are going too much. We might do a little bit of that at the end.
Mhm.
Um, but mainly, I just wanted to tell you that this was great, and I
Tell
fucking
me.
loved it. Well, everyone, the
Oh,
audience, the viewers, the
okay.
listeners. You, I'm not so fussed about telling. Uh,
No.
and by the way, episode 1 is called Chapter 1: The Vanishing of Bill Byers.
Mhm.
What did you think, Tim? Did you like it?
Other than the spoiler alert title, I was like, oh great, he vanishes. Thanks. I mean, other than that, I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, it really. I like the vibe of it. I'm sure that's probably a big thing that you liked, and a lot of
Oh,
people that have been talking about.
absolutely. If I was probably explain, just give like a sort of general synopsis
Mhm.
of what this is. So, it's set in 1983. It's filmed and lit, and the music and everything is all very like 80s. Like it's very authentic. They make it look like it's shot in the 80s. Music's all like 80s music and synth and all that sort of stuff, which is right up my alley.
Yeah,
And the plot's kind of it's kind of like a either an alien or a creature that the government's been working on has escaped,
mhm,
and this kid goes missing as a result, and his
mhm.
friends, who are the kind of like sort of Goonies esque like ragtag team of D&D players, like
Yeah.
want to help try and find him, but the police are also trying to find him, and there's this weird conspiracy going on, and it's I would describe it as a darker version, but also a mashup of E.T. and the Goonies.
Yeah, I can see something like that.
It's got
Yeah,
it's got that small town America, you
yeah,
know.
that's something I wanted to mention. I really like the small town setting. Um, yeah, like it really harkens back to something, and I mean maybe it's a little bit of a nostalgia factor or something, but yeah, just that kind of 80s fun, but also kind of paranormal vibe to it, which yeah, I feel like you don't get a ton of that kind of stuff nowadays. Usually, if something is kind of like weird or paranormal, it's usually like the very dark route, like Walking Dead or something
Yeah,
where it's like
I,
very gory and
do you know, I agree, but at the same time, I do think one of the cool things that this does is it is a tinge darker than what you would like actually got in the 80s.
yeah, I was trying to think like it's not exactly like like I was trying to think of what the rating on this might be because like I was like I can kind of see it being kind of PG, but it's
I'd say
like
PG 13, it's maybe just a little too.
yeah, like I feel like it probably would depend if like you I don't know like if you are a parent or something. I feel like you could probably make a case. Feel like my 10-year-old's pretty cool. He can watch this but
I
like
mean, how, of course, we're saying that. I mean, for all we know, in episode 2, there could be a full frontal sex scene,
yeah,
for all we know.
just giant alien orgy or something.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping that's where they're going. But yeah, I really like the mystery kind of vibe to it. I think that's kind of one of the best things about these kind of shows is like you're excited to find out what is happening.
Yeah,
Uh,
I really like that. I also, like, right away, like, I was kind of, like, when I heard this was a thing and I sort of knew the vague premise and I seen the trailer, I thought, okay, this sounds like it's right up my alley, but I'm not going to get my hopes up because I kind of
Yeah.
assumed, oh, maybe like I've been promised this before. Like right now, me and Connor are watching Dead of Summer, which is set in a summer camp in the 80s.
Mhm.
And while they've got the 80s clothes right, and they've got like things like them holding up like a magazine with Michael Keaton in the front saying he's going to be Batman, and they've got all those little things right. It feels so clean, and on top of that, the writing's just not that good, and like the
Yeah.
directing's nothing special. In fact, it's actually actively bad. The horror stuff in that show is really, really shitty.
Oh,
Whereas
I kind
this,
of want to watch it now.
whereas this, as soon as it started, it was like,
Mm.
okay, there's money behind this, and even the ratio, they're shooting it in the 2.0 to 1, which is the same as what House of Cards shooting, and 11:22:63 that was on Hulu earlier this year shot in that ratio. So it's a little bit wider, you get little black bars, and it just feels a little bit more cinematic.
Oh.
It feels really. It's this weird thing where some Netflix original shows now are feeling like they're higher than TV in terms of like standards. They look like movies. Like this could have been a movie.
I mean, I feel like that's, kind of where we're heading towards. Like, if, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, a lot of these shows are getting bigger production budgets, more than TV and stuff, and probably better, ratings and views than what's going on with, like, a lot of whatever, cable channels and stuff
Yeah.
nowadays.
It's worth mentioning this season is 8 episodes. It's all available, of course,
Hmm.
at one time, as Netflix tends to do with their original content.
Hmm.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of it, all the seven final episodes, because if it continues the feeling that I had in this one, I will be this will be another surprise hit of the summer for me.
Yeah, me too. One thing I was kind of worried about is like I don't think this is gonna happen, but in my mind a little bit, I was like, I hope this isn't gonna be a lost thing where, they're kind of setting stuff up and maybe might not know where they're going. But I don't think it feels like that. Like, especially
Um,
if it is like a very planned
well, yeah,
Netflix thing, like they probably
it's 8 episodes, and I don't know what the plans are. If I was
yeah.
to guess, like if there is going to be like maybe a season two, it
Hmm.
might not be these characters. It might be like a anthology style.
That could work. Um,
Because to me, from watching the start of this doesn't feel like something they're going to keep like this story going like into a second
mhm.
season. Doesn't feel like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I can definitely see that.
that information may actually be available. I'm going to have to look that up before me and Connor do our season review to see if there's actually information where they've said if there is a season two, it wouldn't be this or it would be an anthology kind of thing. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it feels more like that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, and it's called like, Stranger Things, so they can always be other strange stuff going
Yeah.
on in the
The fact
world.
the fact that they called this like they're actually in the episode titles. It's chapter one title,
Mhm.
chapter two title. It makes it feel
Yeah,
like they've got this 8 part story. This is the whole
hmm
thing. Um, but
which,
no,
which is yeah, great if they're not gonna try to like drag it out for 5 seasons or something. Or
yeah, I'm not getting that feeling at all. So
yeah,
I don't think that's something to be worried about. Bit of specifics. I really liked all the kid actors. I thought they were all quite good. Them playing D&D and stuff like that. You see them doing this episode and riding on their bikes. At one point,
yeah,
actually, see when they're on their bikes, the music actually almost felt like a track from the Goonies, but
yeah,
just a bit darker. Like it almost felt like the same kind of notes that was in one of the Goonies
yeah.
tracks. But
I can definitely see that. Yeah, they're super likable. I love the whatever the kid with like missing teeth or something. Uh,
yeah, he's got like a medical condition, so his teeth are like growing
yeah,
in late. So
but
he's got like a not a lisp, but the way someone
yeah.
speaks when they don't have teeth.
There's always like one that's kind of like one kid that kind of stands out or is like extra weird or something. And
Well, what I like about it is right from the get go, you completely remember who each of them are, even if you don't remember their names, and I don't remember any of their names yet, because
yeah,
you've got the chubby kid who has the teeth not yet, you've got the one in the middle who's kind of weird, and then you've got the black kid, so they're all like really distinguishable right away.
yeah,
Like you remember who each of them are, and then the other kid goes missing.
yeah,
And I thought, and obviously that's not a spoiler because that's the title of the episode. Before he goes missing, I think they did a really good job of making us like him really quickly because obviously he's going to disappear. He's going to vanish quite early
yeah.
on. So I thought they did a really good job because they showed us that he's honest like really quickly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, they were all great. The other characters, like I pretty much like enjoyed like everyone in here. Like Winona Ryder, I thought she did a good job.
Yeah, I thought she was fine.
Yeah.
I liked the like cook guy who sort of like connects another part of the story with it. This like another thing escapes. Another a girl escapes from like the people who had the monster or alien or whatever. We don't know what it is yet. I'm just calling
Yeah.
it things that I'm guessing. So no spoilers there, but
Mhm.
and she's like a separate mystery that's going on, and that was interesting.
Mhm.
You've got a sheriff who we kind of get to know as well. He's interesting. You get a little bit of his backstory, which sort of like puts a different light on how he's treating this
Yeah.
case, which I thought was cool. But not, and I thought the pacing was good. One of my main complaints actually of almost every Netflix original, and like some of these other like original content that cable throws out,
Mhm.
is sometimes because they know they can be as long as they want per episode, their pacing suffers because they don't rein it in.
Yeah.
Like I watched two seasons of House of Cards, and one of my legit complaints to that show is that sometimes they really could learn with trimming it down a little bit.
So like one of those shows that it's like sometimes the episode will be like an hour and 24 minutes, and then sometimes it'll be like 58 minutes or
Yeah. I
something.
mean,
Like,
it was never quite that long, but yeah, there was a lot
yeah,
of ones where I'm like, you know what, this could have been done with shaving off five
yeah,
minutes, and I feel like the one good thing about network TV is that they're really strict about that. You have to get it down to 42 minutes. Now, admittedly, sometimes that's a bit of a hindrance because maybe the story here justifies an extra 5 minutes or whatever. But
yeah.
I feel like the pacing in this was really good. I didn't feel like it was going slow at any point.
No, yeah, I never felt bored, and that's always like a big win for me because, yeah, I actually like I don't like yeah I've talked about this before. I don't watch like a lot of hour-long TV shows, because I usually tend to get a little bored. I start, playing on my phone or, looking at a comic or something. And I never really had this while watching this. I was, invested the whole time.
Yep. Uh, I don't think we actually have to go into spoilers to be honest. There's a couple of shocking moments that I quite liked, but I think I'll just save that for the full season discussion
All
with
right.
Connor. So that
And
this is yeah. There we go.
oh no, I was gonna say like the only like really spoilery thing, and like I won't really talk about it, but maybe kind of like the introduction of who's probably gonna be the bad guy, but towards the end. But
Mm.
yeah, there isn't really much to talk about there. They kind of just do one thing, but I'll just say that I am interested in that bad guy or organization.
Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. All of it's very, like I say, Goonies meets ET, but with a darker, like missing
Hmm.
kid story sort of in the middle of it, and
Yeah,
I liked all that. I even got one of the kids has a big sister, who's in
yeah,
high school, and she's got like a douchebag boyfriend, and that feels very 80s. But
yeah. Like
what what I liked as well is that even though I'm saying a lot of this felt very 80s, it wasn't like goofy 80s. Like they weren't going over the top.
there's like a line where like I feel like some people just do it because it's like an easy way to maybe like get people's attention or to make like a setting interesting and be like, yeah, let's just set it in the 80s, and people will say like cowabunga and wear crazy clothes, and which is like not like really I don't feel like that never works out that well. It always kind of seems like
What
they're
happens?
trying too hard, but
What
this
happens?
actually feels authentic.
What happens when
Sorry.
they do that? You get Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like when they do that. Whereas this felt like a movie
Yeah.
that could have come out the same year as the Goonies or whatever.
Yeah,
But
and it just feels real for that time period.
at least as real as I know of it because I wasn't alive at the time. Like I know the 80s through the movies that were made at the time, and
Yeah, like
it feels authentic to that. You know?
yeah, like I was born in '86, but I obviously
Yeah, you
don't
were.
really remember much from being two or three.
Hell, I was born in '89, and I saw. This is going on a bit of a tangent, but there's a really good video on YouTube of like early HD test footage of that someone took around New York City in 1993. Now
Yeah.
I was born. I was a I was four then, but when
Mhm.
I looked at this footage in HD and saw people walking about in like the streets in the '90s in
Yeah.
'93, I was like, holy shit, people look like this. What? Like it was really freaking me out. So
Was what your like first words complaining about an aspect ratio? As
hey, I did not complain about the aspect ratio on this. I was happy with the aspect ratio on this. I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, it's not 16:9. I like that. It's a bit wider, a bit more
Yeah.
filmic, cinematic.
Yeah, like I don't really know about a lot of that technical stuff, but I could tell from watching it that it did like look, like you're saying, like it looked different, looked more like cinematic, more
Yeah,
professional than some other stuff.
it looked like a movie not lit for a
Yeah,
TV show.
definitely. One thing I am interested in, again, I did like no research, but I'm kind of interested to see if these guys have done anything else.
I actually looked them up because it's a pair of brothers, I believe,
Yeah.
um, who are showrunning this. They were on the writing team for Wayward Pines, but they weren't like the head writers or anything like that. They were just kind of on the team. They don't seem to have done anything like super notable. Of course, maybe one of the things that are on their IMDb actually is a cult movie or something. I don't know, but
Okay.
nothing was like I didn't look at anything and go, "Oh shit, they did that!" Like
Yeah.
But if this is a testament to what they might be doing, going forward, then so far
Great.
at
Yeah.
least, yeah, I'm on board.
Cool.
So yeah, that's Stranger Things
Mhm.
from Netflix. Let us know what you thought in the comments below, and yeah, binge watch, like and subscribe. You'll have our full season review, full of spoilers, uh, in about a week or less. Uh, Mainly, it'll be Connor's fault that every day that goes by and it's not up. It's Connor's fault because he is traveling right now, and then he's doing things for a lot of next week. It's his fault. It's all his fault. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you next time.